So in a recent podcast, I think the YouTube channel was Trigonometry. I was listening to Eric Weinstein say that capitalism is going to be changed radically by the arrival of artificial intelligence, in particular ChatGPT. And he was asking the question, like, what's going to replace K and L? K referring to capital and L referring to labor. If AI is going to do the labor, then how is it going to change capitalism? I think it's important to really define the terms. And in this case, capitalism is such a it's a widespread word. Everybody thinks they know what it is, but in my opinion, unless you've read The Mystery of Capital by Peruvian economist Hernando de Soto, you don't really understand capitalism. Uh, because a lot of people think capitalism is property laws, right? It is ownership of the means of production, labor, free markets. Yes, it's all of that, but you have to be able to explain why capitalism works and the reason why it works. And this is what I understand from De Soto, is that we have six properties, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but maybe in a future video. But one property is information. The information is usually factual, it is verified. For example, if you're looking for a house and you go to MLS or you go to a central database, you're going to find a lot of economically relevant information about a house, and therefore you can determine whether you should buy that house. So capitalism is really it may be a gross simplification, but it's like a centralized database of economic information. Same thing with the stock market. If you want to, invest in a stock of a publicly traded company, well, you check out the annual report, and typically, the annual report will report factual information, so all the financial ratios and the performance indicators of that company, and the information is factual usually, except in cases like Enron. And therefore, armed with these facts, these economic facts, you can decide whether to invest in that publicly traded company. Same thing for a condominium, same thing for commodities, same thing for government bonds, etc. So capitalism, for me, from my perspective, and of course we can define it in different ways, but from my perspective, capitalism is really like a centralized database of information. But this information has to be in a certain format. It has to be formal, official. It has to be legitimate, verified, documented. Okay, so here's my point. ChatGPT can allow a person to convert her human capital into formal documents. So, for example, your resume is a formal document. Your resume will tell potential employers your track record and what you're able to do, your capabilities, your skills, your professional experience. And based on your resume, employers will decide to hire you or not. Now, what's happening with ChatGPT is that it can create not just your resume, but an official cover letter, a recommendation letter. It can create your LinkedIn profile. It can create the description of your Facebook group, your Facebook page. It can write blogs for you. It can write your newsletter. So, for example, if I'm a knowledge management expert, I can easily generate like 12 issues of my newsletter, knowledge management, and ChatGPT can do that for me in a single afternoon. In fact, in an hour, if I have all the right prompts. So my point is that you can use ChatGPT to generate a lot of formal and official documents that will promote your expertise, your human capital, that will promote your products and your services. And therefore, it's like you're getting plugged into the capitalistic system, because once again, capitalism is like a centralized database. But right now, a lot of smart people on LinkedIn, for example, they just have a job. And the reason why, well, there are two reasons why they cannot make more money. Number one, their job is bound to their time, right? So if they have one employer, they cannot have a second employer. But we can change that with information products and video courses. The second challenge is that they don't have a way to generate all these marketing and sales and communications documents that would promote them, that would allow them to plug into the capitalistic system, which is a database of official and verifiable and verified information. So that's how I define capitalism, and that's how I think that ChatGPT can really help professionals, especially the LinkedIn professionals who are very good at what they do and are experts.